So again, keep in mind, we are at 121 million, actually, I think at this point. This was taken maybe an hour and a half ago or so. But that's where basically the ballpark that we're in. So we're doing pretty good. Now, again, with Forsage, right? This is a smart contract that, for those of you guys who don't know what a smart contract is, it's an automated execution of code, right? So, and that code essentially is our, we can call it our base of operations for generating perpetual income, okay? So, and with that, it is locked in place, it's encrypted, it can't be hacked, it can't be tampered with, it can't be changed even by the people who developed it, right? The developers that put it together. And all of that there is working in the background seamlessly for us and has been now for 5 months, right? Launched in February 6th was the launch date. So again, it's Ethereum in, right? This is built on the Ethereum blockchain. So as you can see, this big old Ethereum logo here, but that is, this is something that is, again, very explosive in terms of the growth that's still left for cryptocurrency in general and Ethereum in particular, which is really undervalued, as many people already know. So be aware that, again, positioning yourself with Forsage, getting in, not that you need to rush yourselves in here, but again, obviously, the sooner that you get in, the sooner you can start to build your wealth and really start to secure, well, your bags, right? As we like to say in the crypto space of Ethereum. And again, the more Ethereum that you have as the bull run and as cryptocurrency starts to gain mass adoption, as it's called, you're going to see your wealth increase quite a lot, right? The Ethereum and again, keep in mind that these income slots that we purchase and that we build and that we share with others, they are locked in place and open forever, right? So as long as there's a community, right, and Forsage is continuing to grow and breaking a constant, records, as I've said, with the amount of members that we get in daily, and so on. So it clearly shows that the community is we are not in slowdown mode at all, right? We are in speeding up mode. So be aware that this is definitely not over, not by a long shot. So you do need applications, that we'll call it an app, to be able to interact with the contract. Again, this is either a mobile or with PC, with a laptop or desktop, that you are going to need either MetaMask or Trust Wallet, and there are several others, applications that will allow you to interact with smart contracts, and the interface, right, as if you're doing it. Again, you access the website, but through these applications, you do have to use these to be able to transfer the data from the smart contract and to interact with it back and forth. And so, again, for those of you guys who are curious, yes, we get asked all the time. I will upload this webinar to my YouTube channel, and Lotto will also post it to the main Forsage broadcast channel as well. Okay. All right. So again, moving on. Now I'll just click on through this. That was a video about what a smart contract is, but I think we already know what's going on at this point, right? So, and even if you don't, all you need to know, it's like a smart, as Lotto has used as an analogy, it's like a smartphone, right? We all use it. We're constantly doing things with it, but we have no idea how it actually works, right? The processes that go on in the background, and it's not necessary to enjoy the benefits of, for example, how technology works with a phone, for example, right? All the things that we can do with it. And that's what a smart contract is, right? It's basically, it's the code in the background that's working for us. We don't need to know exactly what's going on. We just have to have some idea about how to use it, right? And Forsage is very easy to use. And once you understand what's going on with it, it's very easy to communicate and articulate to others. So yes, with Forsage, you are going into 2 programs, right? We have the active, what we call the X3 program, and you have well, you could say it's a team build. I use the word passive, cautiously, but at the same time, it is a passive situation, right? As you grow your teams and your teams start to expand, you'll see payments coming in, what we call spillover, regularly. And again, I use that word lightly as well, because again, we don't want to give any guarantees for how often, because that's something that we can't predict. No one can predict when someone is going to upgrade within your network, right? unless you're in direct communication with the people that are in the team. So, but with that, yes, you have a link, right? You're going to be giving out your affiliate link and sharing that link, which will forever keep you connected to your sponsor. Likewise, if you are the sponsor of someone else, they're always connected to you via that link, right? Which is what connects us to the Forsage contract. Now, there are no expiration dates, which what I said earlier about the income slots, that those are perpetual income slots that once opened, they never close. Okay. Now there's a caveat of, you know, the income slot previous to the one that needs to be upgraded to, that one can go into a holding or a lock or a kind of a, what I call it, a blocked payments stasis. But, you know, that's just, we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but that's the only time that you'll have an income slot that is in a lock position. So again, they do automatically, right, as a part of the code, once the last position is filled, right, you have the payment positions that come in under the income slots. And once the last one is filled, then it will recycle, opening up all of the positions again, allowing you to receive payments over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? So let's continue through to our next slide here. So this is the way that it's laid out. Many of you all already know this. Of course, you know, it's not exactly like this on the actual user interface of the dashboard, but just so that we can get a visual of how many income slots we have a total of 24 income slots available, right? That you can, once unlock, you have 24 income slots working in the background day and night, whether you're sleeping, whether or not you're outside doing, you know, yard work or whatever it is that you're doing, on the beach, on a vacation. These things are still working and in parallel, right? That payments that come in from X3 don't stop payments coming in from X4, and likewise that they always, you may see several payments coming in from both X3 and X4, even within just a short amount of time, right? Within the, you know, time span of a few minutes or over the course of 24 hours. So be aware of that. That again, yes, the platform, well, again, as you can see, the income slots, as they move up, they are double what the previous income slot in front of it is. So the value that you see here, 0.025, that is what the amount of Ethereum, right, of Ethereum in each income slot. And as we move up, right, each one of those income slots doubles, and that also means that our pay doubles, right? So for each position that you receive a payment, you're receiving, well, double, again, the amount of the previous income slot in front of it. And again, this is a continual, perpetual system. The same works with the X4, or the process is the same with X4. Only difference is, again, that you have two rows, right? You have a top row and a bottom row in X4. All right, but again, 24 income slots that are working in tandem with each other. Okay, now the amount to register is 0.05 Ethereum to get in the door, right? Everyone has to pay that. Now they'll keep in mind that there are gas fees that are also included in that. So make sure that you also put in enough when you're registering to cover the gas fees. And at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, gas fees are quite high. So just be aware of that. You would just need to try at a different time of day, perhaps a different day. And that's something that is being worked on. Many of you all know about Ethereum 2.0, which rumor has it will be being launched, I think, next week. And that will play a part in bringing the gas fees down. But however, though, again, it is 0.05 Ethereum for the actual amount needed to register, right? And that will be split into half, and this is the only time that you'll see two income slots on one on X3 and one on X4 opening at the same time, right? In any other case, you have to buy the income slots individually and separately, okay, and in chronological order, as you can see here. All right, so let's continue on. And X3, how does it work, right? You have your Ethereum wallet, which is your MetaMask wallet or your Trust wallet or your Go wallet or your Token Pocket wallet, right? That will be what is connecting you to Forsage, right? That wallet. Now, your first payment that comes in, it is, well, your payment. It is instantaneously paid to your wallet without having to go to the platform to withdraw, which is just an amazing part of the system. So many other platforms that I've been in where you've got to go in I'd say like 99% of them, where you have to go in and do the withdrawals manually. So again, this is, one of the things that sets Forsage apart is that those payments come in instantaneously without you having to do anything manually. So again, second payment, likewise, it goes directly to you, no waiting, no anything. It comes to you, and it will always work this way. All right. Now, keep in mind that you do want to go ahead and upgrade when you receive those first two payments that come in. All right, because that will be exactly what it costs to upgrade to the next income slot. And it does work the same throughout. All right. So there is that last payment, which is considered your payment. But again, it does go directly to your sponsor, right? To the upline, to the person that you signed up with each time you recycle. So if you get in, let's say 1, 2, 3, that third person is going to end up, well, that payment rather, not the actual partner. They're still your partner, but the payment for that will actually go up to your sponsor, because effectively you're paying your sponsor to reactivate your income slot. Okay. And again, every time that you cycle through, let's say that this is then the fourth, fifth, and then the sixth person. Once that sixth person comes in, again, it reactivates the income slot. That payment will go to your sponsor, but of course, your that person will always still be yours, right? Because they use your affiliate link to sign up. Now, it does, again, reactivate the whole thing. It cycles over again, and the process is the same as we move up through all of the levels, okay? X4, how does it work? All right, a little bit different, but ultimately the same. So let's not get too confused about it. I'll try to clarify as simple as I can. Again, you've got your wallet that connects you to the contract. And again, when a payment comes in, that actually goes to what, as this arrow shows, a higher partner. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's someone who has an ID number that is in front of yours. It just means that someone has rotated into that position somewhere within either your team, right? They could have come after you. Their ID number could be several weeks after you joined, and even within your team. And that payment, again, if someone happens to fall into that position, right, on your first row, then that payment will go to you. Now, I have written here as your sponsor. It can sometimes be your sponsor, but most times it's not. It will be someone else in the system, in the network, right? And again, those payments, again, they don't go to you. As you can see, the arrow shows it doesn't go to you. They go up to a higher, or again, another partner within the team or within the entire system of Forsage. Now, on the bottom row, okay, this is where our payments come in, and they go instantaneously to our own wallet. Again, as soon as they come in, boom, they hit your wallet. You'll see them when you look at your MetaMask wallet, and you'll find that it's there. If you have your Telegram notification bot, you'll know immediately as well. So be sure to activate. I'll show that. I'll cover that to the Telegram notification bot. But again, keep in mind that those two payments that come in, like on X3, when two payments come in, then that will be what it costs to upgrade to the next position. And it is highly recommended that you do that, okay? Because again, as I mentioned before, your income slot can be blocked from receiving payments if you haven't upgraded to the next level after one cycle. That only happens in the position that you've actually finished the cycle. And again, that only affects the income slot previous to the one that needs to be upgraded to, okay? Not the others in front of that. So again, that is the cost to upgrade, exactly 2 payments. Now, again, you do receive another payment, okay? Unlike X3, you actually receive a third payment, not a recycle position, but that third payment is totally yours. You can do what you want with it. Likewise, with these other payments, you're not required per se to upgrade, right? But you do need to be aware that your income slot will be blocked if you don't upgrade. So, John, are we all right? I got a message from you.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay. All right. So, but again, that third payment, like I said, you can just consider it like pocket money, or, you can save it to be able to upgrade sooner when you start to get more payments in, and then you want to go to another level, right? But the last payment, as I said, does come in, and it will reactivate. It's called the re-entry, or what's known as your recycle payment, right? And that will go to your sponsor, right? That last position, again, just like you had to pay your sponsor for rights to that particular income slot. Sorry, I got pop-ups here. Hang on one second, good people. All right, but anyways, though, so again, that payment will reactivate this cycle, and again, like on X3, that will open up all of the positions to allow for you to receive them. Again, and keep in mind that on the first row, likewise, the partners that are here will also rotate out to become someone else, right? So this could be, again, someone within your team or someone outside of your team. And every time that this recycles, new people will fill those positions, which is what is a huge part of keeping Forsage so balanced and working as seamlessly as it does, and allowing, again, even for people who are at the top, right? People who've got ID number 1, ID number 5, or ID number whatever it might be. Even those people at the top, they have higher partner positions that they will also have to pay as well, right? So again, keep in mind that even people on the top are having to pay people that have perhaps recently come in or that are within their particular network on a regular basis every time that they have to recycle, okay? Very important part to understand. All right, now here is just a quick, well, I guess you can call it a legend of how it works, or the color-coded circles of how the X4 can play out, right? It can be, any one or all of these circles, or the combination of these circles. So again, you have your personal partners that can fill the positions there. You have also overflow, right? Which basically means that, like I said, someone overflow from above, we'll say. And that basically means that someone above you has effectively rotated in to your payment position, right? And effectively you receive that payment, right? Wherever it ends up falling, but again, you will receive that payment, and it's considered a overflow, or again, payment from someone who was above you. Likewise, that could come from below you if someone below you has rotated into one of your payment positions on X4, right? Or rather, if you have, actually I said that backwards. Basically what that means is you have rotated into position on someone either above you or below you into their X4 row 1 or top row, right? And effectively you will receive payments that come in for that particular person at that particular position, okay? And again, the overflow of someone being overtaken, right, will show up as a pink circle. And effectively that means that someone has bought an income slot before their sponsor did, which effectively means that their sponsor didn't receive that payment, and that their sponsor, or even above them, depending on who the next person in line that has that income slot open will be the one to receive that payment. But again, you will oftentimes see someone who's overtaken their partner fill in position, and that can also happen on X3 as well, okay? So keep in mind that these are subject to change, right? Now the breakdown that you see of how it correlates at $6, and I think that is about right now. 0.025, I think it is right at around $6. But regardless, these are just so people can put the two, or relate the two, right? Because sometimes when you see 0.1 or 0.8, you don't really process the fact that 0.8 Ethereum is essentially $200, right? So every payment that comes in is effectively $200, right? With Ethereum valued where it is now. Imagine when Ethereum goes up to $1,000 per Ethereum, right? That 0.8 Ethereum right there is going to be like a drastically increased amount of Ethereum, right? So even on these, where we're seeing these lower sides, that doesn't mean that you're always going to get $24, right? This could easily be 0.1 Ethereum. Again, as we start to see a mass adoption of cryptocurrency, even a 0.1 payment, when you receive it at the time, it may end up being a $50 payment, right? So Ethereum has already seen these levels before. As some of you all saw in the video, they did touch briefly on the fact that Ethereum has already seen levels of roughly $1,700 or so per Ethereum. And we are definitely going to get back to those levels again. That's why I say so important to position yourselves. And many of you are very new to cryptocurrency, even on this call now, and you consider yourselves really lucky because you are in the top, 2% of the planet that is aware of cryptocurrency, at least on the level of being involved in it, right? So again, consider yourselves lucky. But again, as you can see, as we move up to the higher levels, for example, 6.4 Ethereum, $1,500 payment, right? 12.8 Ethereum, again, obviously this is doubling, right? So again, that's that's over $3,000 when each time you receive that payment, right? It's just amazing to see that this is the type of foundation that we have with respect to having perpetual income working in the background for us. So just wanted to make sure that people can relate, the value in Ethereum that they're seeing here. Like I said, that point, whatever it might be, or 6 point, whatever it might be, that you can also now put a dollar amount to that. All right. Now, the recommended start options, it varies, right? We have a lot of people coming in who registered that, simply based on their situation, they're only able to open up the first income slot. I get it. I understand. But I also recommend that for people who do have the ability to do it, if you want to call it, if you have the capital to do so, then go ahead and come in at a higher level to, at least 3, right? On X3 and on X4, right? Because as you bring in a team, you don't want to be overtaken, so to speak, right? So what I mean is that if, you bring in a referral or 2 or 3 or whatever it might be, it can just be one person, right? If you haven't upgraded before your referrals do, then you miss the payment. Simple as that, right? So again, this 0.1 Ethereum, which was about $25, you don't have rights to receiving that payment. It's as simple as that. So you do want to go ahead and, plan ahead, right? And make the payment and go ahead and upgrade, and do it, get it out of the way, as I like to say. Get it done, get it out of the way. You may not even receive a payment there for several weeks, but that payment position is always open, or that income slot will always be open. And in time, over time, you'll start to see payments starting to come in from referrals who do buy that income slot. And it's obviously the same situation as we move up, right? If you want to come in and go higher, then you can do that and go all the way to level 6. Some people are coming in and going all the way to level 11 and 12 right off the bat, right? Because they know that they are a networker. They know, even if they're not a networker, they're just excited about the program, and they know that other people will be excited to hop in and get on board with these perpetual income licenses that we're buying, right? And it's likewise on X4, right? This is even more so important that you go ahead and upgrade and open up the, as one of our power team members said, shout out to Brandon, but using the analogy of a fishing net, right? The wider your fishing net is, well, the more possibility of receiving, these payments that are coming in from the team, right? And all of these, because your team, obviously many hands, well, as they say, many hands not make light work. That's the wrong analogy. But again, the more people that you have involved, right, then the faster the process is happening, right? Because again, with the team build in X4, there's many more people other than yourself that are going to be filling up these positions, right, in your X4. So again, the further up, the higher up that you have upgraded, then the more opportunity and the more frequency you'll see with your payments, right? As opposed to only having, let's say that you only upgraded to the second income slot. Well, there could be payments flowing all around you that you'll never have access to or never see, simply because, well, you haven't paid for the income license, right? You haven't paid for that license at X3, or I'm sorry, at income slot 3 or income slot, 9, whatever it might be. If you haven't opened it up, well, then why would you deserve, payments at that level? So again, go ahead and get yourself as high as you can. Basically, you can look at this as a game and go ahead and get yourselves as high up on these income slots as you can. And then this way you can position yourself to start to receive payments and then finish the game by opening up all 12 income slots. Once you've done that, you're done, right? So I hope that gives people some idea about what you should do coming in. Now, just a few examples to show, which I always like to point at, that people, you don't have to have a lot of people to earn money, right? There's several examples, which I guess I should make a more updated example, but that only have 1 or 2 people, right? And they're tens of thousands of dollars earned already in their account, right? Now, again, be aware that here in the pink bar, that equates, or that will always show the total amount of Ethereum that you have ever earned. It doesn't mean that's actually what's in your Ethereum account at that point, right? And again, as you can see, there's an X3 and X4 breakdown, right? How much is coming to X3 and how much is coming to X4. And again, keep in mind that that dollar amount can fluctuate greatly that you see, right? Because it's connected to what the current value of Ethereum is. So, but here in the blue box, you will see the total amount of Ethereum that you've ever earned, and that will always be fixed, right? Of course, because that will be the exact amount that you've always that you've ever received, and so on. But again, there's no need to have a lot of partners necessarily to earn payments, right? It depends on what you've done coming in, whether or not you opened up your X4 slots to be able to receive a lot of payments, and so on and so forth. But as you can see, something to note here, that their fourth partner that came in, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, that they went in and went hard, right? They hit the ground blazing, right, at level 12, or rather they opened up X3 to level 12 and X4 to level 11. I'm sure this person has already filled out all of their positions already. This was taken months ago. But the point is that because this particular person with their ID, I have an asterisk to, kind of, how should I say, conceal their identity. But at the same time, that person did not upgrade and they missed out on several payments, which I'll show here. As you can see, this triangle with the caution triangle with the exclamation mark, basically is to bring attention to the point that you are missing payments, right? And this is where that came in, right? That this person was receiving several missed payments as a result of not having upgraded on their X3 and on their X4. As you can see, most of that was from the X3, at least in this particular picture, or this particular example. But regardless, as we move up and see the amount of Ethereum that was missed, it is tens of thousands of dollars worth of Ethereum that this person unfortunately left sitting on the ground, right? Or they didn't leave it sitting on the ground, but someone else scooped it up because there were people who had upgraded and those payments did go to someone, right? So again, you want to make sure that you do upgrade so you don't find yourself in a position that you're receiving, or that rather you're not receiving payments that should go to you, right? That you would be entitled to if you upgrade. So be aware. That's that. All right. So that's the overall breakdown of it. Trying to think, did I miss anything? I did not talk to, actually, I'll show from the dashboard. Let me go to, hang on one second. Let me go to the back office here and just show a quick example about, so what I was going to say about the fact that if you don't, I already touched on that briefly, but I said if you don't upgrade, effectively, if you cycle through, for example, here, right, on this particular, this is one of the accounts that I have in Forsage. Now, I have not, as you can see, this says 0, which means that I haven't cycled yet, right? But once this last position fills, right, there will be a yellow triangle with that exclamation mark that will pop up that will indicate that I'm in position or potential position, that I haven't missed payments yet, but I am in a warning type of position, where a cautionary type of position where I might miss a payment if I don't upgrade. And again, this is what I mean, that this payment slot will actually go into a holding pattern if I have other people that come in. Oh, sorry, the message is popping up. But if I have other people coming in after this is recycled one time, I won't receive, for example, 3.2 Ethereum if I've not upgraded to level 9 in this particular case, right? And that would be the same situation with anything else, right? Like even if just from income slot 1 to 2, if you fill up the positions here and you haven't upgraded to the next position before the fourth person comes in, effectively you don't receive that, what would be a fourth payment that would come in and fill right here once these clear out. If you guys understand what I mean, we can touch on that more directly if you want to ask during the Q&A training part that we'll go through. As you can see, look here, someone just missed a $700 payment. That is unfortunate, right? So again, you can just what I was talking about. I just said 3.2, and is this on X3? It is on X3. All right. So that's how ironic that I was just making that point, right? That effectively someone missed a payment. Now, this was either because that they didn't upgrade their level 8 and someone else went ahead and overtook them, or they didn't upgrade to level 9 after they had received 3 payments, and then the fourth payment that came in locked and they didn't receive that payment. So that actually was perfect timing with the exact income slot that I was talking about. But so be aware of that. This here on the side shows several, I guess basically it's the latest 50 payments that have come in. I think something looks like that's around 50 payments, I guess, for the community. This is where you can also find your Telegram bot. If you click on that there, that will give you the ability to then lock in your bot, right? So that you can see where payments are coming in, and you can put in several accounts, right? You just simply click on this add, and then you type in the Ethereum address that you want to put in there, and then that will show you all of the activity with respect to Forsage on that Ethereum address, right? So be aware of that, and to go ahead and activate it. It's a very important part of the system to let you know what's going on, and it's just exciting. You know what I mean? Just to wake up, or not even, you don't necessarily have to be asleep, but it's even more like, how should I say? It's even more tasty when you've woken up to payments received, right? So again, that's where you'll find the Telegram bot. Let me close that. And so other thing, this is where you'll find your link there. Now, of course, on phone, the layout's going to be a little bit different, as you know, right? So yeah, locate the different position on your phone. Here's where your particular Ethereum wallet is. You can just copy it like that, or you can click here, and that will take you directly to Etherscan, right? Which is basically the ledger where we can read all of the activity and all the payments and all that other stuff, so that you can basically become one with the not one. Well, I call John. He's the matrix master. He's become one with the matrix. He's pretty well versed at understanding how the. Anyways, so again, this is the actual smart contract. If I click on that and show you guys, this is the verified contract. And again, there's 0 Ethereum that's gone in. And here's something too I want to touch on, because this is something people, so many people were concerned about. They saw this pop up like, warning, there are reports, okay, not factual evidence, but reports from the SEC or the Philippines, and only in particular the Philippines, right? Now, it's because they are, we would like to think that they are looking out for people's, best interest within their country, right? But effectively, they're probably a bit upset that they're not getting their cut, so to speak, right? So, and actually, if you click on this, okay, that'll take you to an article that I just want to show people this live. Well, we've got 600 people or however many people we've still got here. That this article, all in essence, basically explains that what's going on here with Forsage is that people are making money, and they're calling it a security, which Forsage is not, right? We are basically you're putting it into a community fund, right? That others are then able to, effectively earn from that community contribution that you've made, okay? So, and ultimately at the end of the article, it pretty much says it's inevitable, well, here what they say, like, he said it was unfortunate that Ethereum was used in this way. It's inevitable due to the unstoppable and permissionless nature of the technology, right? I suspect that even with strong regulation, Ponzi schemes on Ethereum will still be common, especially as privacy tools available on Ethereum get better, all right? So what this means, because again, we do have, hello?
Yep, got you back.
Okay, yeah, sorry, you got a little
Gremlin
exclamation mark that pops up on my mic, but you can hear it. How long was I out?
About 30 seconds.
Okay, my apologies, everyone, my apologies. But basically, I just wanted to make the point that all of that to say that this article, essentially here at the bottom, I was just reading off the fact that they said that ultimately there's nothing that they can do, all right? And keep in mind that this is only within the Philippines jurisdiction, and it's basically a lot of bark with probably very little bite with respect to people actually being prosecuted, so to speak, members. So be aware of that. If you see that when you go to the contract, all right, and of course, yeah, you can just X that out. It just pops up, and again, it just said that there are reports. No legal actual proceedings have taken place or anything. So again, the amount of Ethereum that goes into the contract, because this is another thing to note, that Ethereum goes directly from one partner to another. There is no waiting on your payments, as I said before. There's no having to access your payment from the smart contract, right? The smart contract, it delegates the payments within seconds to the appropriate partner without ever taking in Ethereum into a centralized wallet. Okay, so there's no centralization in that way, right? Be aware of that. And again, that's where you can find the Ethereum address or the smart contract address. And yes, it has been verified. So for those of you guys who don't know, yes, the contract has been verified long ago, several months ago. It was already verified. Okay, and how long now? I've been at about 30 minutes. I guess we started my little presentation here 15 minutes in after the video started. So 30 minutes, I think we wrapped it up. Again, yes, you do need, as I said, MetaMask, Token Pocket, or Trust Wallet to interact with the smart contract, so be aware of that. But we'll try to keep this one relatively short. I want to go ahead and get into the Q&A and direct training for people who have questions and want to be able to get clear on that. So we will go ahead and move into the second half of our call. So for those of you guys who want to hang out with us and stay for the Q&A, I do encourage you to do so. But if you're not able to, thank you for joining us today and spending time to get caught up to speed. And if you were invited to the call, be sure that you do get back to the person that invited you to the call so that they can get you plugged in and get you on board into the system, okay? All right, so with that, let's go ahead and move on down the road and we'll get into our Q&A.